Selena accuses Justin of emotional abuse. That's right, guys. We were here, and now we're coming down. All right, so Selena did an interview with NPR talking about her new album, and Justin Bieber, obviously. So the interviewer was actually like this show's guardian angel because she asked the things that we want to know, and she asked Selena if she was talking about Justin Bieber and some recent work of hers, right? Here's a clip.
Goodbye to Justin Bieber, who I'm assuming you're talking about.
You had to get the name in. I get it.
That's a confirmation, you little bitch. We finally fucking got it. And I look back at the old Selena Gomez video where people are like, oh, Tefi, oh, I'm 12 years old. And how come you always think Selena's talking about Justin Bieber? Because she is, bitch. Because she is. And yes, I'm calling a 12-year-old a bitch. Okay, so obviously that's a confirmation. And I say that's a confirmation for someone who's as media trained as Selena Gomez. You know, like, she's a veteran and she doesn't do these interviews. I am 100% certain she does not do these interviews without knowing what they're gonna ask beforehand. So I'm sure her and her publicist sat down together and were like, how do we say yes, but not say yes, but not say no? And that's it. Oh, yeah, I understand why you had to say the name. You had to get it out. And we did, Selena. We did. Okay, guys, so then the interview goes into a different direction, right? And then she talked about this.
Do you look back on that time and is when you think about the parts of your life that were painful that you've kind of moved on from, is that one of the harder parts?
No, because I've found the strength in it. It's dangerous to stay in a victim mentality. And I'm not being disrespectful. I do feel I was a victim to certain abuse. And
you mean emotional abuse?
Yes. And I think that it's something that I had to find a way to understand it as an adult. And I had to understand the choices I was making. As much as I definitely don't want to spend the rest of my life talking about this, I am really proud that I can say I feel the strongest I've ever felt. And I've found a way to just walk through it with as much grace as possible.
Okay, so we're gonna unpack this together, okay? Oh God. Selena looks exactly the same, and Justin Bieber does not look like that anymore. It's crazy. So we're gonna unpack this together, and I'm gonna unpack it as someone who has been in situations where I've been like really emotionally vulnerable and definitely taken advantage of. And you know what? The majority of people have been through something similar to this kind of abuse, whether they talk about it or not, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because it's one of those things where you look back, it takes hindsight to kind of pinpoint this, and especially emotional abuse, because it can be so sneaky and it can be so normalized that it's kind of like, you know, when you look back and you're like, or you see a photo and you're like, oh, why did I wear that? It's almost like you don't recognize that person. It's kind of like that same mentality where it's like, why did I stay? Or why did I say that? Or why didn't I say this? You know what I mean? And why didn't I call this person on their shit, you know? But when you're young, and they started dating very young, when you're young, you don't know about boundaries. Unfortunately, boundaries is like one of those things that takes experience, you know? Like for me, I thought that in a relationship, you have to be this all-encompassing person to the person that you love. Like no matter what, you have to be like this ride or die bitch and like convince yourself that like you think that this is loyalty, right? You have this huge relationship, like years of back and forth, but you're like, I'm a loyal bitch and I'm gonna take it because I love you and I choose you. And that's like, And then you can't get out because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to like get out of this like back and forth seesaw kind of situation. You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to be needed, you know? And it's so addicting to be needed. It's so addicting to feel like you have somebody to depend on and lean on, especially like in a situation or maybe a lifestyle or a time in your life where you feel like you only have this like one person who understands you, right? I want to say that there is a real confusion when you're young and starting out to date between passion and validation versus like actual love, you know? And I see that same kind of difference with like being nice and being kind, you know? Being nice can be kind of fake. And a lot of surface stuff where like being kind is like, I don't like this for you, you can do better. It's the same thing with like passion and validation. One can be really dark and nice, but love is patient, love is kind. Am I making sense here? Yes. Thank you. So I can see Justin Bieber as this person who can definitely let his emotions explode. And we've seen it. We've seen it for years. We've been with him when he was like this budding star, and we've seen him run amok, you know? And it's really scary to be around people like that, and I definitely have. And I see him being very emotionally needy, and I'm trying my hardest not to say that he's also a Pisces, you know? But I feel like Haley and Selena are emotional absorbers, for sure. They are people that you can depend on, for sure, and they are empaths. And I'm sure that they are people who want to help and care, and I am sure that Justin is and was as kind to them as he is mean. Like, just because you're kind doesn't mean that the mean shit that you've done and said gets canceled out. And I've met a lot of people, and they've been talking to me about relationships in their life, present or past, and I'm like, holy shit, this person is talking to me about this relationship as if they don't know that this is emotional abuse, you know? And I love when Selena Gomez says it's dangerous to stay in a victim mentality, because it's important to not let experiences like abuse define you. I feel like Selena took responsibility. She took the time to heal, you know? She went to different rehab facilities. She didn't date around. She's very low-key for a while. We didn't know anything about her for a while. She doesn't do social media a lot, you know? She focused on herself. And now all this hard work that she applied on herself is being applied to her life in general, right? And listen, it's hard. It's really hard saying the word victim. Really hard. And I think, like, maybe you think that you were just like manipulated for years, isn't being a victim, you know, but I want you to know that no matter what, however you want to label it, moving past something hurtful and traumatizing is amazing. Talking about it can only help you, but not only does it help you, it helps the people around you. I always say that shame thrives in the dark, you know? And Selena created an album that sparked a lot of conversations, you know? She shared her experiences, and her songs undoubtedly have touched people, whether she can sing them live or not. I can feel Selena fans being like, we almost fucking like that bitch. Like, I can feel it. That's my show. It's live weekdays at 12:30 p.m.